What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Happy Thor's Eve if you have your tickets for tomorrow or this weekend. I hope you guys love the film, and of course stay tuned here at the channel. We'll have a ton of content coming, breaking down the ending, the post-credit scenes, the Easter eggs. You guys know what it is. In the meantime, and on the precipice of some huge announcements from Marvel Studios, maybe the biggest we've had in some time, one in just a couple of weeks at San Diego Comic-Con on July 23rd, then following up in September at D23. Today we have an absolutely insane casting report, one that's going to have any fan of the X-Men or hopes that they show up soon super excited, myself included in that group. None other than Gambit in what seems like some adjacent roles. We also know, given the industry speculation, what show or series this would be for. We're going to break down the entirety of this breaking story about X-Men member Gambit joining the MCU, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to casting reports like we're covering today and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below that will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so while you're probably going to see the story pretty poorly reported in the next couple of days, this is an official casting grid, but for what Marvel series we don't know. This was shared by industry insider Daniel RPK, and while it certainly reads like Gambit and or his adoptive parents, we're going to talk about the context in just a second. Now, this is the casting grid itself. Talix Boudreaux, male, 20s, open ethnicity, Louisiana native. He's entitled, volatile brat who likes to wield the power his family commands, but yet lacks the restraint required to influence his parents. Mrs. Boudreaux, female, 50s, open ethnicity, Louisiana native, and unquestioned head of her crime family. She's alpha with demeanor of a polished CEO, attentive and engaged. Mr. Bordeaux, male, 50s, open ethnicity, Louisiana native. He's second in command to his wife in the family business, submissive to her, but still not to be trifled with. Now, I just moments ago mentioned the context of this, and depending on what show this actually lines up with, some people have pointed to this and said perhaps this is just picking out members of the family. This is an old casting grid for Echo. It could fall in line with that show, and that is true, but I also want to point out Gambit's backstory as it pertains to this casting grid and how nicely it lines up. Gambit was actually an orphan long before he made it to the Xavier Institute of Gifted Youngsters, and by then he wasn't a youngster at all. How he ended up joining the X-Men was befriending Storm, but long before that, he was abandoned at birth because his eyes were glowing red, then kidnapped from the hospital by members of the New Orleans Thieves Guild and raised on the streets as a thief. Now, when he was about 10, he tried to pickpocket the top boss, Jean-Luc Lebu, the patriarch of that Thieves Guild, who then took the boy off the streets as his own adopted son. That's how Gambit gets the name Remy Lebu, and of course, Lebu has the same suffix "bu" as Boudreaux from the casting, which has the same prefix, but I think that's more just a coincidence with the names themselves. But what seems just a little more than coincidental is the lining up of the casting grid of a Louisiana crime family and how well that lines up with Gambit's backstory. But for the sake of remaining skeptical and not wanting to say this is Gambit for sure, if Gambit was in somebody else's series, you think it would actually just be his own, basically a Gambit Disney Plus show, which we've heard absolutely zero about. And on that note, just thinking very out loud, it would be a very odd first choice for an early X-Men or mutant to make it in. I know Marvel Studios is trying to do things differently than they've been done in the past. Just look at Spider-Man as an example of not wanting to do anything that had already been done on film. But Gambit hasn't really been covered much at all anyway, and to choose him of all the X-Men to introduce first would seem a little odd considering there are a lot more likely choices. And for me, it's not just Wolverine. I think Storm would make a perfect solo series in the MCU, but who knows what Marvel's up to. If you heard the recent interview with the Russos, which I did cover briefly at the channel, I'll make sure to link it at the end of this. They said that they think Kevin Feige has just put the X-Men aside for now, take this time to introduce a ton of characters that, it's important to mention, wouldn't otherwise get introduced. Shang-Chi getting a solo film probably would have seemed like a real impossibility to movie execs back in the early 2000s, and now Marvel Studios has an opportunity to do it, and they're doing it. But alongside characters like Agatha Harkness, Echo, we're here that we're also maybe getting a Korg solo series, Okoye. We need some characters that we all already care about from the comics. Introducing new characters for us to find and care about in the MCU is great, but give us a Storm series, Give us a Rogue series. Give us the characters that we grew up with and know and love. I definitely know I'm sounding pretty old, but I also can't help but wonder if I don't mirror the sentiment of a lot of people watching this channel and a lot of people who are watching the MCU. Look, I'm all for the representation, and as I've said in the past, if we're getting a solo Scarlet Scarab series or Agatha Harkness series, don't look at it as instead of Gambit or Wolverine, Storm, or Cyclops. Just look at in addition to, because we lived in a world for a long time where the production budgets again would have never gone forward with making any of this. And really, Marvel Studios, Disney, with the budgets that they've got, with the resources they have to make this is probably one of the best places for it. I know Marvel Phase 4 has struggled to find its stride, but I think if you give them the allowance for what happened with COVID for over a year, making it pretty much that they didn't know any of the series orders that these were coming out in and wanted to keep all the stories contained, I think if you allow for that, we're going to see a lot of change coming up here in the next couple of years. And no matter how much we wish in him and Haw that it's going to be around the corner and very soon, Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige definitely have their plan for how they're going to bring the X-Men in. We just sort of have to be patient and wait and see. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. Do you agree it would be a little odd to bring Gambit in? But if this is for Gambit or he's showing up anytime soon in the MCU, who's your pick to play him? My pick is Joel Kinnaman. I think he was awesome in Altered Carbon. I think he'd be perfect for the role. I also really liked him in Suicide Squad. But you guys let me know who your fan cast for Gambit in the MCU is. Quickly, let's jump into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s every 20,000 subscribers all the way up to 1 million. The next milestone is 980. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you for all of our ongoing giveaways. And because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Guess WhatsApp scammers or Telegram scammers, they are all over YouTube. They've hit my channel and many of the other channels in the genre. Please, guys, do not trust any comments who are just using the picture of another YouTuber to claim you've won something, asking you to contact them on a third-party site like Telegram or website or WhatsApp, any of those sort of apps, and then asking for shipping costs. Those are just scams. Be vigilant. Report those comments when you see them. We announce winners in videos in this segment when people win. And our giveaways are ongoing at milestones, so I'm not in the comments every day telling everybody they won. Also, if you have any questions, whether it's valid or not, when you get a comment like that, you'll see that they've commented on everybody else's in the video too. So there's plenty of ways to tell they're scammers. Just report those comments. Keep it moving. I'm sorry. I know it's been a hassle. I've been in touch with YouTube for months about this. They're doing everything they can. In the meantime, hit the sub button, comment down below. That enters you for our giveaways. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking that out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.